Greetings and welcome to smartwatchtix.com. Kospet is back with their fall 2024 lineup of ruggedized, hardened, beautiful smartwatches. The Tank X2 ULTRA. It's an upgrade from the original Tank X2 that you just saw in detail, right? We're going to slow things down and show you how you really open one of these boxes. The previous two of the three Kospet ones, I kind of rushed through that just so we could get you to the good stuff, but now you're hooked, right? You ought to see these. 1.64-inch AMOLED display, Bluetooth call, health monitoring, blood oxygen, and so forth. Yep, same thing pretty much as we saw on the Tank X2. The dual band satellite, compass, and everything is here. This is a GPS module in it, the MIL standard 810H hardening, 5 ATM, and the same 170 sports modes. What's different? Let's find out. Oh, look at this. We got all these certifications in here too, and Gorilla Glass. When you turn it over, you notice you can't open the box because it's got this seal on here. This was on the other ones too, but I pre-tore it off for you. But in the joy of unboxing, I want you guys to see how this works just to get in the box. If you're thinking of giving it as a gift, it adds a little bit more enhancement to that moment of excitement in trying to get into the joy of the product. And speaking of joy, check out the Tank X2 ULTRA price. It's only $119.99. That's only $20 more than the non-Ultra version with all the extra features you get. Check the show notes for the link to head over there, and we'll also see if we got a coupon discount to help you bring the price down even more. In terms of what this one has, it's identical, really, to the X2, except for what you see in yellow here. It weighs 4 grams more with that little GPS module, compass, and other things. They're so tiny, but everything else is the same. The Gorilla Glass 3, the display size and resolution, all of it exactly the same. The battery life now, really interesting, is the same too, even though you have the GPS module. Now, when you invoke the GPS, and if you use it continuously, you get about 10 hours of use out of it because it's heavy. It's heavy duty to pick up those satellite signals. In addition to the things it already has inside the Ultra, you've got the dual band positioning, 6 satellite positioned GPS, right? And for outdoor sensors, the compass and the barometric altimeter. Otherwise, the connection for Bluetooth is the same, the strap lengths are the same, the sports are the same, all of the sport recognition right down through the languages are exactly the same. Now the box should open, but it's really tight. Once you get it lifted, yeah, you get in here and really packaged just the same as the Tank X2 original. We have the unit inside here. Wow, it's in there tight. Okay, let's pop it out. You have the band wrapped around itself, already installed, and it's a non-removable band on the Ultra as well. We can take off the plastic cover here, like so, and reveal basically the same watch. In fact, if you put them side by side, you really can't tell the difference because it doesn't say Ultra on it anywhere that I can tell. Deeper in here, this is just all your packing material for holding the watch. And of course, in the accessories, what do you think? An orange wire? Yeah. And that's your standard charging wire, but it's not a standard design. Unique contours to it for charging through a USB-C connector. Kospet's the first ones to introduce that. They did not ship it with a USB-A, your standard USB. So you'll either need an adapter if you typically use a regular charger, or you can go to a Type-C charging port for that. What are we missing? You guys remember from the other review where they hid the manual? Yep, it's right here. This is the X2 ULTRA manual. Let's see if it's different from the original. It starts out pretty much the same with the QR code to download the PDF of this thing. There's your about the band and the QR code for downloading the Kospet Fit app. You've got information for registering it, pairing it, all that's the same. Over-the-air updates for firmware. On the other side, you're getting into how you navigate across the screen, up, down, left, right. What the buttons do, there's the power button in its description, and the sport button on the left-hand side, changing the watch faces. You know, I think we're going to have to dig deep into the device itself to be able to tease out what makes it Ultra. Let's do that. All right, here we go. And guess who wanted to come and join us while we do this exploration? The original Tank X2. I'm glad they're in two different colors because that way we can tell them apart. Silver and a gunmetal gray. We're going to press the side power button on both of them at exactly the same time. Give it a few moments. They both take a while to actually start up, but the timing is the same on them both. It just vibrated. There's the startup logo. Oops, I think I accidentally touched the button there. And you land into whatever watch face you have on each of them. These devices are so identical, it's amazing. When you swipe down, you get these different controls. These are the ones that I rearranged for the ones that I like. This is how it comes stock. And remember, you can hit the plus sign. Over here, it's on this page. And you can see all the other things that you can add. And there's nothing new here. They're all exactly the same. I've just added some, taken some away, and rearranged them a little bit. Now, in terms of all the other stuff, swipe off to this side. You got your notifications. Swipe up. You've got all these cards that show you basically the same thing on both devices. Again, very, very little difference. There's some hardware change in them. And basically for GPS and for barometer and altitude, which is new over here, and your compass. But everything else is the same. So they've added the barometric information on this panel. And then, of course, when you swipe over this way, you're going to go through all of your activities, and I rearranged them so they're not going to match up the same. But they are the same, exactly. So here's where the differences lie. When we press the two buttons, we get into all of the activities, and as you can see, they're the same. Now, when I go into workout, not workout, but workout records. Come on, workout records. Here we go, workout records. You see, I've got a couple of different things in here. This is a small walk that we did on this one. You remember me showing you that. And on this one now, we have the more extensive, almost hour-long walk that incorporated GPS. So see what you've got: total time and distances, averages, paces, maximums, minimums, and now you've got the route. So the GPS route, not against the map, mind you, but just basically on the watch itself, so you can see roughly the maneuvering you did on the route shows up here on this one. And it, of course, doesn't on the basic Tank X2 that doesn't have the GPS module in it. Then you keep on going down: heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen, stress and emotion, the tap to do it all, your music player and voice assistant, all those are the same. If you want to really go into each of these, we have that in the original review of the Tank X2. Here we come at right after the weather, right there. We have the new entries of compass and barometer before you go into breathing. So GPS doesn't show up as an app. It's in the background for your workouts. This has got a shorter timeout. It's just a setting. And here we go into the compass. Now, to show you the compass, we have to calibrate this. And just to play safe, make sure that I get a good reading, I'm going to take all of my rings off because some of these have magnetic components in them. Wow. I feel so strange without all those on. By the way, if you haven't seen any of our ring reviews, we've got a whole playlist at smartwatchtix.com. You can jump in and take a look at all the different smart rings that are coming out on the market. Oh, I could need to do it standing up. There, sometimes we need to do broader circles. Now, something interesting about this compass. You see north is here. I'm always seated in the north. South is this way. You see all these numbers flashing here? This is meters in altitude, and this is the barometric pressure. So in this case, this compass in the watch also incorporates your altitude and barometric pressure. I am having an issue, though, because I'm at about 300 feet, 100 meters, and it's saying I'm 9,100 meters in there. And let's look at that. In the barometer, this is when I first turned it on, and it jumped way up here to 1,005 HPA, and slide up, and there's my supposed altitude. I go into calibration, and I can set this at 100 meters, like so. Oh, you know what? I was setting it down here. Silly me. It's the middle one, I think. Wow, that's interesting. Why would they show three numbers like that if you're supposed to do them? Okay, there we are. We're on the middle one, 100 meters. Let's do that and see if we're right. Okay, that's why it wasn't working. I was doing the bottom line. Yeah, it's a wonder I got through math, isn't it? Okay, so now we've got the barometric pressure, the compass. There's one last place I want to show you the compass, and this is the three things that are different with this. GPS, compass, and barometer, right? For this, we need to go back to our workouts, which we can get to here, and let's pick something like an outdoor run. Notice here, it's acquiring GPS, and it doesn't do that on the Tank X2. You don't have any of that there. Once you've got it, lights up green, you say go, gives you a countdown, and then you start in on your activity, whatever it is. Here we are in a run, but down here at the bottom, you've got the buttons where you can slide over this way, activate your music player and play music while you're working out, or you can go this way, and you see the little red line? That's the compass pointing north. When you see that circle, that is going to be your GPS track information on here. And you can zoom in closer, you can zoom out if you need to. Route back is available, straight line, all kinds of things. If you're into this kind of stuff, you've got this one particular display that gives you a lot of really good information. Blending GPS, compass, and your route information all together. And again, if you press and hold, you can leave this. If it's too short, it'll tell you it is, and it's not recorded. That's the biggest difference between the Tank X2 and the X2 Ultra. This watch is using the same app, Kospet Fit, and that's the thumbnail that you'll look for in the Google Play Store. When you've installed it, you open it, you set it all up, you get it connected. You saw that in the previous videos, how we do all that. And then you're on your basic overall home page. You have sports, device, and profile. They're all identical. The only difference I've seen so far is here in the sports tab. If we come in here, and I just did a rather long, almost an hour-long activity in the sports records. That was in the walking. The long one, 57 minutes, right there. And there we go. We've got the GPS chart here showing my house and basically all of the maneuvering around at the house. That's in the graph with the summary down here at the bottom. Overall details are listed here, and then your charts are showing up here. Now, I purposely took the watch off for quite a while to see what it would do. It seems to have frozen at the heart rate reading here, and when it picked up again and got an accurate reading, or at least an initial reading, it just drew a curvy line to connect them. Notice that then jumped up to my true reading at the time, and then it finally came down and leveled off. So that's interesting. Cadence, same thing. Here's where I took the watch off. There's where I put it back on and was moving some more. Here, I had the watch on, but I wasn't moving very much. So it had a very odd cadence on here. So it kind of works with your data more or less accurately. It should fall down to 0 for heart rate and stay at 0, but it's chosen to just ignore the values apparently and put them together that way. And that's the overall detail on how you do a GPS coordinated workout with the GPS module that's in the watch, and then the tracking data transferred later to the phone. So the app is exactly the same. Everything in the app is exactly the same, with the addition of seeing the track route when you go into the tab that shows your workout activity. The watch faces are all the same. In fact, everything is so much the same that at this point, now that we've covered the differences, I'm going to cut over to the review we did of the Tank X2. So you don't have to go looking for that one and bring it up to play it. I'll just add it in from this point forward. You're looking at this one, but it applies 100% to the Ultra, except for the GPS, the altimeter, barometer, and the compass. All right, we'll see you on the other side, and here we go. You come down here to your overall controls. There's Bluetooth connection for your phone calling and your music player and all of that. Do not disturb. We can turn off now. Here's our brightness. There's overall full brightness, very, very bright. And there is nice and dim for nighttime use. We'll run it on about a 3. I think that's about right. There's twist your wrist to see the time, which should work now that we turned off the Do Not Disturb at night. Now, got a bright, bright flashlight in here. Now, everything you're looking at are changeable. You can go into this little button here and delete them or rearrange them. This is not stock out of the box. Now, if you slide up, you get into the other controls that are not showing when you swipe down. And you can add any of these that you want to, SOS or power savings mode, the way your apps display, all these different ones are available. So just choose what you'd like. And if they exceed the first page, you just slide over and they'll show up on the second page. That's all of these controls. Oh yeah, settings is here too, but we'll get into that in a little bit. When you swipe up now, you have everything you need. Really, you can just start out with time and swipe. Here's all of your step count information, your music player integrated with it, and when you're connected to the phone Bluetooth for that feature, you can play the music. It's great. Heart rate is there, blood oxygen is there, blood pressure, and any one of these you want, you tap on it, it'll expand it out. Stress, emotion, and I grouped those together. These are all rearrangeable too. Here's the weather in your area, alarms, last night's sleep information. For example, I can tap in here, shows your sleep stages and information. Tap again, shows you the actual sleep cycle from when you went to sleep to waking up. And that's awake and REM and light and deep sleep. You'll see all that in the app as well. And that's where you are on the sleep. And you've got these other things beyond that. Your overall workout record. And I did do a walk with this watch, and it's recorded it. Ladies, your health is here for your cycle tracking. As long as you set it up on the phone first, it will tell you where you are at the moment there. And we have an integrated stopwatch, which will run in the background. We just started it. We'll check it later when we get to the app. Countdown timers. And like I said, you can edit and change them or delete them, whatever you'd like to do. So everything is in your control, swiping up and down, really. Go off to the right, you get notifications sent from your phone if you have any. And go off to the left. And now we get into all of these different cards that you already saw the miniature ones of. There's your daily activity, your step details for the day, and I don't walk 8,000 steps in an hour. I wish it would recalibrate. Come back here. Recalibrate a bit on that, because I'd like to see it a couple of hundred steps, or figure out the largest one and set the graph to that level. Here's steps for the week. I've only done it for a couple of days. So many watches. I really only can spend a couple of days with each one. Here's your current heart rate now. I'm going to put my finger over the back side of this. It's giving you your resting heart rate, and you tap on it. There's you're getting the expanded version that shows your 24-hour heart rate, high and low, kind of question that one, but I did do some activity today. You can come into settings and you can set the rate of your automatic heart rate once every 5 minutes up to 60 minutes, or off if you don't really want to do that. You can do it right here from within the card for the app itself, as opposed to having to go all the way into settings. And then a little bit about heart rate, gives you a description about it. And I believe that's also in the app too. So you got everything self-contained here. When we get out of here, we can come over then to blood oxygen. And this is showing you from 96 to 99, it says. And the range in the category of testing. And if I want to come back, I can say start measuring. And it will use the red diode technology, the more advanced technology. I'd have to stay still and whatnot, so I'll bail out of it. But you can get your reading on there. Again, you can set up your automatic measurement schedule on here, find out about blood oxygen and so forth. Blood pressure, the same thing. Of all the readings, challenge the blood pressure one. Make sure if you're going to use it that it matches your particular valid data that you're checking with a cuff or something like that before you believe it. I want you to see that graphic. They've got some really cool graphics on the watch. This uses green diodes always on. Oh yeah, you saw it. I took my finger off long enough and it says it wasn't, it couldn't get a reading. So I like that. It's not just going to read thin air. And of course you get your systolic and diastolic, and that all of the information is there. Your stress. Love it how the graph goes up and comes down and then just kind of fills in where it is from midnight to the present. Blue is the most relaxed, green is middle, and red is stressed. So you can get a good feel for that. You can start a measurement if you want to. Here's your emotion records, and you get more information in the app, but it looks like I got a couple of them where I've been a little stressed out today and about middle on everything else. I need to set the timeout a little longer. Last night's sleep stuff, we looked at all of that already. There's where you can set your sleep schedule, goals, and your sleep reminder and a sleep mode. All of those are selectable too. Way more sophisticated than you see on most watches. Now we're going to go one more over, and I've got the weather in my area. I know you guys say, why don't you show me where you live? You'll all want to visit me if I do. Anyway, you get all of your stuff there. Your UV, your air quality, your forecast information is all in here for the weather. And then one more, you're getting into a music player, and take a listen to what it sounds like. We're paired together with the phone now. We're ready to play. Volume's up all the way, and here you go. This is the music coming directly from the phone through the watch, playing out the speaker, which is over here on this side of the watch. You can mute it simply by covering it. It's got good rich tone. Seems nice and clean. And of course that's representative of what your phone calls would sound like too. After the music player then is all your call information, contacts, logs, keypad. If you want to dial a phone number directly, you can do that right there. And SOS if you set that up. And then your workouts, all of them. Not 100 and, wow, that's a lot. But you can actually customize it and add more to it from a list of 170 of them. By the way, you can get to that by just hitting the sport button on the side as well. So those are all of the cards you get to from that way, this way, that way. What do we got left? Pressing the button on the side a second time will get you into all of your apps. There's your calling information, which we already saw, right? Your daily activity, which we already saw. So all of these are there. Your basic workouts, workout records, if you have any, are here. There's the outdoor walk that I did and the timing and information on it. Now, there's no GPS directly in this watch. So if you get GPS tied to it, you have to initiate it from the app and take your phone with you. Otherwise, yeah, you'd get a GPS track too in the workout records. There's heart rate, sleep, blood pressure, blood oxygen, stress, emotion. If you want to tap this one, you'll get all of these, or most of the major ones, all at once. Takes about a minute. Sit really still. This is the best way to get accurate readings across the board. The music player, yep. There's your Google Assistant or Siri if you're tying in with the iPhone. The app is available on the iPhone, so you can use this watch nicely with an iPhone as well. weather in your area, breathing duration and pace. This is for your inhale, exhale, mindful meditation work. The notifications, a stopwatch, see, it's still running. You can pause it if you want to, keep it going. You can take lap times if you want to. Nice integration of the stopwatch. Come back out of here. Hello, how do we get out? Wow, okay, now it had to stop it to get out. That's interesting. Alarms, timers, calculator, kind of small, but nice big digits, so you should be able to see the results pretty easily. All clear on there. Remote shutter, if you're tying it with the phone, you want to use your phone to take a picture. There's the flashlight again. Find your phone, ladies' health, and settings. Now, in settings, we got display. This is where we can change the watch faces. Let me show you a couple of them. This is another one I downloaded. Nice. This is what I use at night. It's so fun. Yeah. Again, I could change this by pressing and holding. There's another downloaded one. So is this one. Now, we're getting into some of the stock faces that come with it. I'll just show you the thumbnails. They just expand bigger. Digital ones primarily. Some are combined with analog. A lot of them are digital because it just works better on a rectangular watch than round does. But there's a round one, and another digital, and now we're going full circle again. So this is about the only direct analog watch, but it does show you the edge-to-edge capability and the curved screen. Isn't that sweet? Wow, nice. And there you go with the watch faces. Now we got to that from the settings, which I can also get to from here within the display. Then you go on to always on display. You can follow the current watch face and it'll have its own style of always on face, or you can go into the custom ones. This is the one you've seen that I've been using, but they have a whole bunch of other digital ones primarily, depending on what you'd like. There's an interesting world one. And there's a kind of a color one. So we'll go with that color digital for the next time it goes out. You can set it for all day, or you can set up a schedule for the always on to be available for you. Brightness directly here, and display duration, which I'm finally... Oh no, I want you to see the timeout, right? Well, let's make it for 15 seconds. When it times out and I stop talking, you'll see. Here's the twist your wrist to see the time. You can switch to different watch faces anytime that the watch comes back to you to time display, which is really, really fun. And there's the tap to work, which I really like to wake it up. Overall themes, list, grid, waterfall for how you show your apps and other things. And then this toggle effect. One side zoom, two side zooms, fade in and out. Wow. Let's see what that does. Okay, that's everything here so far. And we've covered all of the other stuff. So when this times out, which will just be in a second, it should now switch to the digital display that we put in there. That's the two color. It has, I think, a little orange and then white. Or if I would have said default, it would switch to the default one for that. So that's it. And I can twist it, it'll light up, or I can tap it and it'll light up. Let's play with the app now. We're back on Kospet Fit for a full overview of this one, the recently reviewed Tank X2. I go into full detail on this one. Today I want to jump around for you. What you do is, of course, is you download it, look for that icon, thumbnail, set it all up, and then you're going to get to pairing the device. Now, this is the home display for the S2. If I go over to device, it says I'm using the Tank S2. However, if I want to, I can switch to the Tank X2 that we're doing right now because I've already set it up, or any of the other Kospet watches. This is really sweet because in switching this one, not only does it switch over to that device, but it brings in all the data that's related to that device. There we go. And we are on the device page, so this is all about the Tank X2. But let's go back to home and syncing up successfully. Here we've got our step data, our heart rate, our last night's sleep time from this watch now, and the breakout on it. Blood oxygen, stress, blood pressure, and mood. All of those covered in detail in the other app. You go into sporting now. These are the different activities. Here's the outdoor walk that I did that you saw on the watch. Here it is on the phone after it transfers over. And again, if this had GPS in it, you would also have the map with the chart or with the graph in it. You do have a chart, though, all of your heart rate and your cadence that go along with walking. And then, of course, there's all the different stuff that goes with all the other exercises. Tank X2, what you haven't seen is the watch face gallery. This is the always-on watches that you can choose from, and there's some different ones in here you can download in addition to the ones that are already on the watch itself, which is really, really cool to have such a variety of always-on displays like that one or that one, this angle, some with a touch of color. Nice, really, really nice. And of course, they're set for the angle and distribution of the watch itself. Here's some recently updated ones, just to give you an idea. That's one that I downloaded. You saw that one. And then there's different categories of all of these faces. That one I've downloaded. Multifunction dials, simple, mechanical, business, fashion, illustrated, cartoon. That's a seasonal. It just goes on and on. Definitely a fun watch to have, any of these Kospet watches, if you really are into faces. And the fact that now you can set it so when you twist your wrist, it'll automatically switch to a different face, and that you can download multiple ones, not just one from the gallery, but multiple ones. They'll stack up inside your watch. Oh, it's wonderful. Really, really good. Other things that you can do in the overall settings, we've covered all of that. In your profile, you've got you get these different awards at different levels. This is where you can switch back to the X2 if you want to. Your overall profile goals, ladies, your cycle stuff. Nothing different here. Third-party services, as we remind you, Strava is available to connect with. A lot of people like that. Your permissions and feedback setting. I know it's quick, but like I said, if you want a deeper look at the app, switch over to the S2 review in that section. You get everything individually. And a reminder now, the Kospet TANK X2 ULTRA comes in at only $20 more than the basic X2 with the GPS and the compass and the altimeter all thrown in the package. Check the show notes for the link to get you over there to pick this thing up, and check for a coupon discount as well. So what do you think? Are you ready to shoot the moon? I thought so. For only $20 more, this is a pretty good deal to pick up the Tank X2 ULTRA from Kospet. But either one, are really, really good, really nice, unique design. They are complementary to the different smartwatches on the market in that they're not round and they're not square. And thank goodness they're not looking like another Apple Watch. Yeah. I'm impressed. Kospet's done it again, and right into the holiday season. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again soon. Oh, by the way, comparisons coming up. A few more videos where we let you look closer at the similarities and differences between combinations of these Kospet watches. Have you subscribed? Hope so.